Okay, so hi everyone. Today we will be starting our lecture on interest. So, in this interest part, we will be covering simple interest and compound interest, and then it will be followed by the installment. So, installment I am planning to do in an entire separate video. So, in this video, we will be dealing with the interest part. So as we are aware, this is basically an application of the percentages. So the first application that we had was the concept of profit, loss, discount, marked price, and all those stuff. The other application of the percentages is in the terms of the interest. Okay. So now the question arises that why interest? Why interest? So the simple reason for that could be okay. So for instance, you basically took you had some need and you took 2500 rupees from someone, and you promised to return that after 3 years. Okay. So the first reason could be that it is indeed a source of business for many communities or for many people. So basically they will offer you some money, and when you will be asked to return, so they'll basically ask for some additional money. They'll ask for some additional money. So that is the common word that is basically used in India for that is byaj, which is the same term as the interest. The other reason could be that after 3 years, this 2500 would not value the same as it did 3 years ago. Okay. So we all are very well aware that the the cost, the value rupees 5 had that rupees 5 had in 1990 was far more as compared to the value it has in the year 2021. That is because of many purposes. That is because of the many purposes, like the devaluation, or the demand, supply, and all those stuff. So these are basically the reason why the concept of the interest is being taken into account. Okay. So the first kind of interest, and the first interest that we all generally apply while giving some amount is the simple interest. So the amount that we generally take is called as the principal. Then the rate at which it will take an interest, that is denoted by the r. Then t is for the time period. I is for the interest that we will receive, and a is denoted by the final amount that we will be giving back to the person whom we had taken that principal from. Okay. So this is basically some of the basic terminologies. So this is basically called as simple interest. Now why this is called simple is because it is uniform. For example, okay, let's taking the same example. So for an example, we basically took 2500 from someone, and he basically asked us that he would be charging a rate of 12% per annum. So that basically means that for every year he will be charging us 12% of what the principal is, that is rupees 300. And we took that loan for 3.5 years. Okay. Why simple interest is because it is distributed uniformly. Okay. For first year, the interest was 12% of the principal, that is 300. For second year, the interest was same. There was no change. The same 12% of 2500, that is 300. For the third year, it was same, that is 300. Now for the remaining point 5 year, since for 1 year it is 300, so for an half year it would be 150. So the complete interest. So why it was referred to as simple is because it was uniform. For example, if for an year it is 300, so for a semi year it would be 150, or for a quarter it would be 75. So this is the way it is being distributed. And this interest is generally denoted by the formula. Okay. So it is the rate. So it is calculated over the principal, and then for the time period, and then for what time period is basically what gives us the interest. So this basically would give us like 12 into 12% of 2500, and that for the period of 3.5 years. Now just try and see this, that always mention the time period, in the same time, in the same dimension as the rate is asked. For example, we are given the rate as per annum, that is per year. So this would be mentioned as 7.5 year. 7.5 year. If it would have been given like semi-annually, so the time period would have been mentioned in terms of the semi part, in terms of the 6 month, or it would have been denoted in terms of the semi years. For example, this would have been okay. So in 3.5 years we have 14 6 months. This won't make a difference. This doesn't make a difference to the concept of the simple interest. But further we'll see that it does make a difference to the concept of the compound interest. For example, this was the interest for 1 year. So for 6 months this would be 12/2, and in terms of semi-annual, now this time period would be written as 7 semi years. So this would not be 14, this would be 7 6 months. Okay, this doesn't make a difference for the simple interest, but you should be aware of the fact that time period should always be mentioned with respect to the rate of interest, the way it is defined, whether it is defined per year, whether it is defined semi-annually, whether it is defined semi-annually, or whether it is defined even in the terms of the number of days. So this would be the interest, and the final amount would come out to be the principal plus interest. Okay, so why simple interest? Why it is called simple interest? It is called simple interest simply because of the fact that it is uniformly distributed and it is not affected over the years. Okay. Now on the similar lines, we have something called as the compound interest. Okay, so let's talk about compound interest. Okay, so now compound interest is actually can also be called as the successive interest. Okay, so let's take the previous example itself. For example, we have 2500 rupees, and then it was basically 12% per annum, and we had taken it for 3.5 years. So for the first year, okay, just mark that point. For first year or for the first kind of for the first the first time period over which the interest would be calculated, the compound interest is always equal to the simple interest. So that would be nothing but rupees 300. Okay, so for the first year it was same, but now for the second year, this interest would actually be calculated on the amount that we had after the first year. So the amount that we had after first year was 2800. So now the interest will be calculated on this. So this would be this. Okay, so 12% of 2800 would be, so this will be 280 plus 56. So this would be nothing but 336. So the interest for the second year would be 36. Okay, you got the point, that it will actually be calculated. It won't be calculated over the initial principal, but it would be calculated over the new amount we had. Okay. For the third year, now this would be calculated. The interest would be calculated in the similar manner, but over the new amount. So this will be like 12 upon 100 for the 1 year. Okay, so that is how we calculate compound interest. And in the similar manner, whatever is the interest or whatever the amount that comes after the third year, then we will be calculating now 12 upon 100 of A dash. But since we are calculating it only for a half year, so we will do half of that, and that would be the answer to that, the A double dash would be the final amount. So to be very simple, simple interest is always calculated on the initial principal, whereas the compound interest is always calculated on the amount that we had for the last time period that was taken into account. Okay, so now a very simple formula for the compound interest would be R by 100 into N, and this is principal, and this would give you the amount for the compound interest. Okay, and then the interest or the compound interest can be calculated as amount minus principal. I hope this formula is clear to you. So okay, for this case, say we had to calculate the same thing for 2 years, so it was very simple. It was like P plus P into, okay, so for the first year we calculated it like 12 upon 100 into 1. This was the amount that we had. Okay, so this was the amount that we had after the first year. So you can take out the common, and this is like 1 plus 12 upon 100 and to the power 1. Okay, so just try and just match with this. So if we had to calculate the amount for the first year, so this was the formula that we were looking at. Okay, now the interest. Okay, now let's try and compute the amount for the second year. So this is like 12 upon 100, and this is like 12 upon 100 of, now this is like P plus 12 upon 100. Okay, so this is like this. Now if you try to compare this, so what we will get is, okay, so what we will get is P 1 plus 12 upon 100 will come out to be common, and we will be left with 12 upon 100, and the final amount would be P 1 plus 12 upon 100 ka whole square. Okay, so this is how the formula is derived. This is basically a very simple case, a very simple case of successive percentage change. Successive percentage change. Okay, I hope this formula is clear. I hope this formula is clear. Okay. Okay. So now, okay. So with compound interest, there are few things that you always need to take care of. Now, first thing is that I had already discussed it. I had already discussed it with simple interest, but for okay, for compound interest, you should always be aware of. Okay, for example, if you have to calculate, if you have to calculate the the same question, 2500 principal, 12% per annum rate, and the time period is 3.5 years. 3.5 years. So this is like 3.5. Now just try and see this. So 1 plus r upon 100. Now this r is given annually. So this r is given annually. So this is like r. Okay. This is like r by 100. R by 100. Now since it is given annually, so we will have 3 years and 1/2 year. So for that, what we can do is just separate the integral part. So firstly, we get the amount. For the 3 years. Got the amount for the 3 years, and now using this amount, we will calculate it for the another half year, because this 12 was given for one entire year. So for the half year, that would generally be the half of that, and plus a would give us the final amount a dash. Okay, so just take a good care of that in what terms we are given with the rate of interest. In the similar manner, if we are given that the rate is semi annually, so this is very important. As far as in terms of the compound interest, because now you will have to calculate the amount after every 6 months. So first 6 month there will be an amount change. Second 6 month there will be an amount change. So for instance, if the rate of the interest is given as 12% per annum, now we can make it as 1 plus r by 2 into 100, and this would be the rate of the interest semi annually. And in terms of the years, okay, so the rate of the interest is now given semi annually. So can we how many semi annuals can be made out of 3.5? That is 7. And this is what the final amount will look like. If it is in terms of say in terms of 3 months, so we can say a is equal to p 1 plus r by, okay, so r by 4 into 100. And how many 3 months can be made? How many 3 months can be made out of 3.5? So this would be like 4 into 3, 12 plus 2, 14. So this would be the amount that we people will be getting. So always make sure that the kind of the rate of the interest that you are putting in over here, the outside time period should match with it. And if there is something excluded, for example, in this case, we were actually calculating it for the rate of the interest was given per annum, and we were given like 3.5 years. So we could not complete that 4th year. So first we separated the integral part, that is we computed it for 3 years, and after that we computed it for the half year. Okay, just follow this pattern and it would be super easy. Okay, now moving ahead, so on the similar lines, so interest is always a question where the things will be increasing with time. Now same thing or same question are often being asked in a different manner. For example, we have 1 minus r upon 100, and this is like n. Okay, So this is basically the formula for depreciation. Now what is depreciation is, for example, you had a car whose price was, say, rupees 25,000. Now it is estimated that every year, so this is in terms of the year, every year the price of the car will drop by 10%. So the rate of the interest will be 10%. Now this is not the rate of the interest, this is rather called as the rate of depreciation. So this would be subtracted from it. And this would be, rather than the increased value, this would be the depreciated value. Okay, depreciated value. So you should understand this concept, that a successive percentage change is a bigger set, and the compound interest or the depreciation are all the subparts of it. So once you are clear with the successive percentage change, that is, for example, after 10% growth, it became 110 of A. Then after another 10% change, it become 110 of 100 into 110 of 100 into A. So this is what is successive percentage change, and compound interest, depreciation, all are derived from the same formula. Okay, so this is what the simple interest and the compound interest is all about. So we just went through it. This is basically a very simple question. This is a very simple concept, as far as you are aware of the concept of the successive percentage change. And this is not applicable to the simple interest, it is only applicable to the compound interest or the depreciation or the depreciated value. Okay, so let's not waste more time, and let's see some questions and let's try to do them in some better manner. Okay, we'll not do it like a maybe a class 8th or class 9th student, that going with all the formulas and all. We will be trying to do them in some better manner. Okay, so just try and see this. Let's see the first question now. Okay, so the rate of the interest for the first 3 years. Okay, so you had some principal, and the rate of the interest for the first 3 years is 6% per annum. Okay, for the next 4 years, 7% per annum, and for the period beyond 7 years, it is 7.5% per annum. If a man lent out 1200 for 11 years, find the total interest earned by him. Okay, so first point to notice, that if nothing is mentioned, and if you are not able to get what is the type of the interest that he is basically asking for, then take it to be the simple interest. Okay, so the one way could be, okay, so this is very simple. One way could be, this is like 1200. So for the first, it was like 6 upon 100 of for 3 years. Okay, so this was the interest for first 3 years. Then we will change the value. For example, 6 ke baad it was 7 by 100 of for next 4 years. Then it was like 7.5 upon 100 for next 4 years. Okay, so this is the way that we would do it in certain theoretical exams. But for exams like CAT, we can do it much quicker, or for any quantity based exams, we can do it much quicker. Okay, so for 12%, okay, we see that the values are normally single digit. Okay, so for 1200, what is 10%? 120. What is 1%? This is 12. Okay, so for the first year, for the first 3 years, it was 6%. That is, it was 72 for first 3 years. The 12, see, this is like 12. So 12 is 1%. So 6% means 72. And this is for 3 years. Okay, in the similar lines, 7%. 7 is 84 for the next 4 years. And then we have 7.5. Okay, so that would be 90 into for the next 4 years, and this would be nothing but, okay, so this is like 360, and this is nothing but 216, and this is nothing but, okay, 32 or 16, and this is like 316. So that is nothing but 316. Okay, this is 316. No, this is 336. Okay, so 36 plus 16 would be 42. Okay, for this would be 36. 36 plus 16 would be 42, 52, and this 52, and this will be like 112, and this would be like 5. This would be like 8. Carry 1. This is like 912. So the final amount. So the entire interest. So the entire interest that we could make over this deal is rupees 912. So see, this is entirely a concept of percentage. If this is the way to calculate it a bit quick. Okay. So let's move to the next question now. Okay. A certain sum of money amounts to 705 in 2 years and 800 in 5 years. Find the principal. Okay. So see, the one way could be. So since nothing is given, so we will take it as simple interest. So we could say keep 2 into, okay, so amounts to, okay, so this is like, okay, so let's say principal was P. And the rate of interest, okay, a certain sum of money amounts to this and this, okay, but we are not even given with the rate of interest, no? Okay, yes. So okay, say we are given with a rate of interest, say R. So what we would have done, ki R upon 100, and this would have been like 704 minus the principal, and this is the way we could have calculated it. Then we would have done in the similar manner for 80 minus P, and this would have been like 5 into P into R upon 100, and then we would have two variables, two equations, so we could have easily solved it out, but we won't. Now how we will do it is we will basically follow what the definition of simple interest actually implies. So basically simple interest is a uniform simple interest, is a uniform interest. So for after 2 years the amount was 705. After 5 years after 2 years the amount was 705. After 5 years the amount was 800. So actually there was the addition of the interest itself. That basically changed the 704 to 800. So what was the interest? That was 96. For how much time? 3 years. So this was 32. Now why we divided by 3? Because it is uniform. For every year it has to be same. So that is why we could divide 96 by 3. Now in the similar manner, if it is 32 for 1 year, then for 2 years it would be 64, and after 2 years, if this was 704, so obviously the principal would have been rupees 640. So that is how we took the advantage of the definition of what simple interest is all about. Okay, now let's come to the next question. So find the compound interest on 1000 at the rate of 20% per annum for 18 months when the interest is compounded half yearly. See, this is very important. They have mentioned 20% per annum, but the interest is compounded half yearly. For example, for instance, after 6 months we will have a new amount over which the compound interest would be calculated. After that next 6 months we would have a next amount, a next amount over which. So this is very significant. So since, okay, we'll use a formula, okay, 1 plus. Now the rate of the interest is actually given. The rate of the interest is actually given in terms of the per annum. So for a half year that would be r by 2, and that is 100. Okay. Now in terms of the half year, what is the time period? What is the time period? 3 semi. Okay. And the principal is 1000. Okay, so this would be 1000 and this would be like 1 plus. This will be like 10 upon 100. This will be like 3. This will be like 3. And this is nothing but 1000 into 1.1 is ka cube. And we all are aware that 1331. 11 cube is 1331. And 1000 if you do it. So this will be like 1331. So they are asking. Now see this. This is very important. I am saying this repeat again and again, that always see what they are actually asking for. So they are asking about the compound interest. So the compound interest would be 1331 minus 1000 and that would be 331. Okay. After solving the question, every time see to this, that what they are actually interested in or what they are actually asking. Okay. Now let's see the next question. So if the difference between the compound interest and the simple interest on a certain sum of money is 72 at 12% per annum for 2 years, then find the amount. Now why I took up this question is because of the fact that simple interest for first year is always equal to the compound interest for the first year. But now the compound interest would always be, the compound interest for the coming years like 2, 3 and so on would always be greater than the simple interest. The simple interest for the coming years, which would always be equal to the simple interest of the first year. This is because this is now being calculated over the increased amount, and this amount will increase every year. So this is why the compound interest for the second year would be okay. So now if the difference between the compound interest and the simple interest on a certain sum of money is 72, okay, just try and see this. So see, the principal was x. Okay, the principal was x. And now simple interest every year is actually same. So this is like 12 by 100. So this is what the simple interest is. But for the first year, the compound interest would also be same. The compound interest would also be same. That is 12 upon 100 into x. But for the next year, the compound interest would be 12 upon 100. 12 upon 100 of the new amount, that is x plus 12 upon 100 into x, and minus the simple interest would remain the same for this year as well, and this is like 72. Now why 72 is because see, they are talking about the difference between the simple interest and the compound interest, and for the first year, the compound interest and the simple interest would be same. For the second year, the compound interest only for the second year, the compound interest would be greater than the simple interest. So the second year, so the difference will be because of the interest rate or the interest computation in the second year. So the compound interest for the second year was this, and simple interest for the second year was this. And computing this, you will get 12 upon 100. Okay, so 12 upon 100 into x. Okay, so 12 upon 100 into x plus this is like 144x upon 100 into 100. Okay, and this will obviously cancel out. This will actually cancel out, and this is like 72, and this is nothing but 1, this is nothing but 2, and this is nothing but 50, and this x would be nothing but 5000, and this is what we were looking at. So then find the amount. So basically they are asking about the principal. So the principal would be rupees 5000. Okay. Now let's talk about the other important aspect. So let's talk about the other important aspect. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Let's talk about the next question. Okay. Ranjan purchased a Maruti van for this, and at the rate of depreciation is this. Find the value of the van after 2 years. Okay. Okay, so purchased a Maruti van for this, and the rate of the depreciation is this. And always see, whenever interest is not mentioned, then take it as a simple interest. But in these question of depreciation, we always know that it is always the successive thing. So it is something that you should realize that whenever we talk about depreciation, it is always like the successive change. Okay. So okay, so we actually find the value of the van. Okay, find the Maruti van at the rate of depreciation this. Find the value of the van after 2 years. So they are basically asking the depreciated value. Now we are not being given with the rate of the interest. I must have missed it. So let's do one thing that okay, so let's do one thing that I'm actually interested in computing the rate of the rate percent, and which is x. Okay, so I can directly write 1 minus x upon 100. See, this is per annum. So in terms of the annum, what would be n? So this would be like 2, and the initial value was 196,000, and the final value was 144,000. So this actually had to be the answer, but since I missed the rate percent, so we can do it that way. Okay, so this is like this cancelled by this gets cancelled by this, and this is like, okay, so this is like 144 by 196 is equals to 1 minus x upon 100 इसका whole square. Okay, now this would be cancelled by just try and see this. So we can cancel it by, okay, so this is like 3 and 36, and this would be cancelled by, okay, 49. Okay, so this would be 49. So this can always be written as 6 by 7 इसका whole square is equals to 100 minus x upon 100 इसका whole square. So we can take it as 6 by 7 is equals to 100 minus x upon 100. So this will be like 600 is equals to 700 minus 7x, and now 7x is equals to 100, and x is equals to 100 by 7. Now we are aware of this that 1 by 7 is nothing but, okay, so 1 by 7 is 14.28%. So this is 0.1428. Now into 100 would mean 14.28%. Okay, so the rate of the interest is 14.28%. So that was a simple question for the depreciation. Okay, now the last question is very simple. I just added it to basically, okay, you just note down this fact. So whenever you are calculating the interest, the day when you take it, the day when you take the interest or the principal does not count in the computation of this, but when you return the amount, it actually counts. Okay, so they are asking what will be the simple interest on this per annum. So okay, just try and see this. So okay, it is 9% of 700, so this is like 63. So if you would have calculated it for the entire year, so this would have been like 63. But now they are asking for a period from 5 Feb 1994 to 18 April 1994. Now see, so for March we had 31 days. For April we had 18 days, because you have to calculate the day when you were actually returning it. And for Feb Now for Feb, it is always very important, because someday they will take you, someday they will give you a leap year. So you have to see whether it was 29 days or whether it was 28 days, and you don't have to count February 5. So since 1994 is not a leap year, so it would have 28 days and 28 days, and since 5 is always done, so this is like 25. So since 5 days are always less, so this would be 23, and this would be nothing but okay, so 31, this would be like 34, 64, and this would be like 72. Okay, 72 upon 365. Okay, is it a leap year? No, it is not. It is not a leap year. It is not a leap year. Okay, so this would be 28, this would be 18, and this would be 31. March is okay. January, Feb, March. Yes. This is 39, 49, 72. Okay, let's make it okay. Since we have to see 365. So this has to be like 73 into 5. Okay, 73 into 5. So this would be rather easy. So let's make it 19 April. So this would be like 73 by 100. This would be like 1 by 5. Okay, so this would be like 63 ka 1 by 5, and that would be nothing but 12.60. Okay, so just remember this. Okay, just remember this. They'll ask you, maybe they included Feb 5 1994 itself, because they were asking for this period, but just remember on this fact, but if you are given that you took the money on this day, never ever included, but the day of the return is always included. They actually were asking you from this period. They have not mentioned whether you took it on that or day or not, but they want you. So maybe they included 5th Feb as well, but it is not included. So just remember this point. Okay. So yeah, that's it. This was rather a very simple concept of compound interest, simple interest. You should focus on doing questions not in the traditional manner, but understanding what actually the compound interest or the simple interest, how the uniform nature of the simple interest can be basically used up, or the simple interest or the compound interest for the first year is same, so the changes will start coming from the second year. Then always practice on the questions of different rate is given as per annum, time is given in different times, like it is given like 3.2 years, or this is given like 3.5 years. Do in that terms, semi annually and all that. Then also do questions for the depreciation, and this was enough to give you the idea of all the questions that are possible from simple interest and compound interest. Okay, so thank you for this session. Hope you had a wonderful time. And good learning from it. And in the next video we'll be starting with the installments. Okay, so it is a very important question. It is a very important concept, and people generally don't get it. It is very simple. I'll give you a kind of a brahmastra, and you will never ever dare to do a wrong question on the installments. But we will focus on that, what actually the installment is, what it is all about, and surely you'll love that video. Okay, so that's all, and have a good day.